Siena College's mission of providing the education for a lifetime is rooted in its Franciscan tradition and aims to provide a diverse atmosphere for all who enter campus. Well before the days of social justice efforts, Black Lives Matter, and diversity campaigns, Siena Athletics welcomes students, coaches, and staff of all races and backgrounds. As we celebrate Black History Month, we remember the roots of diversity in coaching at Siena and the long-standing efforts to create a diverse atmosphere. Siena's premier sport since its founding in 1937, Siena men's basketball brought in its first coach of color with the hiring of Bob Byer in 1994. Byer wasn't the first coach of color at Siena, but the first to lead its top program. For Father William McConville, who was president of the college at the time, the hire was simply a no-brainer.
When I became president in '89, there were two great issues sitting on my desk. One was diversity at the college. In the hiring of Bob, if it wasn't we're scoring a point in terms of diversity, we were simply recognizing a talented young coach who was ready to be hired. Struck me as that simple.
The Saints went on to enjoy success under its very next coach, Paul Hewitt, who led them to a MAC title and the NCAA tournament in 1999. Again, they were simply in search of the right man for the job.
As a first-time head coach, I was very fortunate to fall into a situation like Siena. When I applied for the job, Steve Clifford, who was a former assistant and coaching NBA for a lot of years, he was the one that called me and said, hey, you should apply for this job, because he knew the people that were going to be involved. Denny Cal, John Dargenio, he knew the administration very well. And my first reaction to him was like, listen, in this industry, it's very rare that they follow one Black coach with another Black coach. And he said, that's not Siena. And when I got up there, I realized like right away, they were just looking for the best person for the job. And when they made that decision to hire me, it made me instantly feel comfortable, because I knew that they weren't following any other, what other schools would have done. Like I said, very rarely in this business you see one Black coach followed by another Black coach. And so that made me feel good. And again, I give a lot of credit to Denny and John, and I always appreciate what they did for me.
After Hewitt left Siena, Louis Orr took them right back to the top and winning a MAC regular season title in his only year with the program. The team then hired Rob Lanier, who guided them back to the promised land in 2002. Like those before him, Lanier's stop in Loudonville set the tone for a successful basketball coaching career.
I was very fortunate to have been given an opportunity at such a great program to be the head of the program. And the further I get away from having been at Siena, I realize how much of a great opportunity that I had. And I've learned so much from it the older I get.
Former Siena Board of Trustees member John Murray was part of the hiring committees for all four coaches and recognized the value in bringing in diverse candidates.
But there's always been a bias toward diversity, that we would like to have as much diversity on our campus as we can. Leadership positions, especially high visibility positions. And I would argue that the president and the men's basketball coach are the two highest visibility positions.
Paul Hewitt, who goes on to Georgia Tech, leads them to the national championship game. Louis Orr goes to Seton Hall, is Big East Coach of the Year, where he also played in the Big East, the first person ever to play and coach in the Big East. So those things are important. I think what it really speaks to is us being able to give people opportunities to realize their potential.
Since its founding, Siena has welcomed a diverse student population. The first Black head coach at Siena came in 1967 when Major James Williams coached cross country for 2 seasons. Former Harlem Globetrotter Sergeant Charles Turner assisted Siena's women's basketball program in 4 of its most successful seasons ever in the early 1980s, including helping the team to win a New York State title in 1982.
Where the real credit goes to Siena is that they were given, there's so much talk, there's talk in the NFL now about giving minorities opportunities to lead. But Siena's been ahead of that curve for quite a while.
Diversity and supporting the needs of diverse student athletes has always been part of the plan.
And I think when you want people to have that experience, you want them to learn and be mentored from people that they can relate to, that look like them. I remember going through one of the earlier searches when we hired Coach Byer and talking to some of the players. One of them, an African-American young man, said to me, it'd be great for me as a young African-American Black person in the United States to be able to learn and be mentored by somebody that looks like me, so I have a perspective so that I know it's possible for me to achieve those things.
Siena has provided diverse coaches the career opportunity of a lifetime, including most recently former men's basketball head coach Jamie and Christian.
Coming to Siena was an opportunity I knew was going to change my life, partly because we'd had other black head coaches come before me that were successful. I think that matters. Being in a community that is so accepting of black head coaches, Siena definitely has that. The Albany area really appreciates black head coaches. You can feel that vibe. I think they've just done a great job of creating that kind of culture where black head coaches are appreciated. And
Siena remains focused on providing opportunities for young, diverse coaches and on the mission of upholding Franciscan values it was founded upon.
The opportunity to give young, diverse people the chance to come in to a great athletic program, be part of a great community, and excel as well. So, I like that we've been able to continue to give those opportunities to young people, and certainly would like to see us be able to do more.
Look at the founders of our institution. If you look at why Siena College exists, it's because the Order of Franciscans Minor wanted to make a difference at the time, 1937, in the lives of men, people who might not be able to afford a college education. And they were very fortunate. We go back to, I think, probably one of the best players ever in this program, arguably maybe the best athlete ever in the school, was Billy Harrell, who in 1952 wasn't allowed to stay in some of the hotels that his teammates would have stayed in, but they would leave when he wasn't allowed.
In today's world, everybody needs to understand that there's different cultures, different perspectives. People look differently, people sound differently, and we all need to understand that and be able to work with all different types of people.